Hello, Mordimer here and welcome to another video about great Akiba Rubinstein. Today I would like to explain, by quotation, why he had the chance to become so strong player at the beginning of the 20th century. So the first one comes from the book The Life and Games of Akiba Rubinstein, and it was written by John Donaldson and Nikolai Minev. And they write in their book as follows. Rubinstein was very fortunate in making his way to Łódź. In fact, he could scarcely have asked for a better place to develop. Referred to as the Polish Manchester, Łódź, a cosmopolitan city of 300,000 people, 40% Polish, 40% German, 20% Jewish, was, along with St. Petersburg and Moscow, one of the three great chess centers of the Russian Empire. The Łódź Chess Society was founded in 1903 and continued up until the German invasion of Poland in 1939. During this time, the society served as a model of what a chess organization can be. Many different types of tournaments were held, including matches, club championships, and handicap events. Foreign visitors were frequent guests of the society. Mikhail Chigorin, Frank Marshall, and Jacques Mises played in events there, while Capablanca, Aljechin, and Lasker gave simuls. Sponsorship was provided for the best players to travel outside and serve as the club's standard bearers in important international events. Salwe and Rubinstein represented the club at Kiev 1903, while Akiva, Barmen 1905, and Gersh Rotlevi, Ostende 1907, were sent west to gain their master titles. Players like the Russian master Boris Verlinsky and Fyodor Dus-Hotymirsky especially made visits to Łódź, so great was its reputation. So that's pretty impressive, about the famous names in this club. They were guests and visitors all the time. Grandmasters, the strongest players of the world visited that city. But let me make another quotation from the book of Frank Marshall, My 50 Years of Chess. He wrote there, "A hospitable town, fanatically interested in chess. We were treated royally and produced a great deal of interesting chess." That's also, Frank Marshall was a great player from USA, one of the strongest at that time. And he visited Europe. He made a tournée over there, and Łódź was one of the places where he stayed. And the last one, I would like to make a quotation from the British Chess Magazine from May 1909. So at that time, Rubinstein was already a very strong player. And they wrote, this is the part of the quotation, they wrote, "The Łódź Club is proud of Rubinstein, and he is proud of his club, for it is one of the strongest and the best equipped in the world. It occupies a handsome suite of rooms on the first floor in Piotrkowska, for which, I was told, a rent of 2,000 rubles, 2010 English pounds, is paid. It is a nest of strong players, of whom Salwe is the best known, though the names of others such as Rotlevi and Daniuszewski are familiar on this side of the Elbe. I'm not aware that the club is ever closed. I have personally left it still going strong at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I have found play in progress there in the forenoon." So, wow, that's also quite nice, note about the club. I don't know about the clubs now, but share in the comments if you know about that. Maybe there are some great clubs around the world now, but any of them operates nearly 24 hours a day. That's something quite impressive, isn't it? So yeah, that was the huge opportunity to improve the skills by Rubinstein, Salwe, and other players. Okay, so we know all of that. Warm welcomes for the players, the same like in the last part. As white, Rubinstein, and as black plays Georg Salwe. Let's begin. White open with d4. Salwe answer with d5. We have e3, e6, bishop on d3, knight f6, knight f3, c5, and b3 by white. And it's called Rubinstein Opening. And as you can imagine, this opening served Rubinstein through his career for many, many years. Knight c6, bishop b2, taking the additional control on important e5 square, which we have bishop d6, so fighting for that square as well. Knight b on d2, we have castle by white, c captures on d4, e captures on d4, knight h5. And this move is not really precise move. It has a plan because black want to attack the very powerful bishop. Remember, in this opening, light square bishop is very important for white because black has a lot of pawns on light squares here and here and here, and it's good to keep that bishop as long as possible. So of course Rubinstein knows about that this knight gonna control the key squares for the bishop, so he prevents and play g3, controlling the f4 square. We have answered g6, and that lets Salwe remaneuver the knight, and we have knight e5, bishop d7, developing it's not many possibilities to develop that bishop, but developing it on d7. We have f4, knight g7 as planned, a3, very important move because it's another prevent move by Rubinstein. Before he attacks, he always prevent opponents from playing their plan, so that's also important strategy. Now black cannot attack this important bishop again. And now we have very strange move. We have f5, and f5 is not really good move. First at all, the pawn cannot go back and attack, for example, this knight. And another thing is it creates the weakness on e6, so it can be attacked from frontal attack, and it's definitely the weakness. But the worst, this knight is a very sad knight. It cannot be moved on f5. It cannot be developed there, and you will see how important is that. We have queen e2, bishop on e8, with the plan of moving. It has a deeper plan, but it's also not really precise plan. It defending g6 to play h6 and get some attack on the king side, but that's really very dubious. Knight d on f3, rook c8, developing king h1, giving the space for attack for the rook on g file. If it's open, we have h6 as planned, queen e3, bishop e7, strengthening the g5. So now the attack is obvious, that is gonna happen, but does it gonna work? Rook on g1, and now we have last chance for black to don't follow the plan. But as you see, if human player have the plan, then it's very often that the player stick to that plan. In this situation, the last chance for black would be king h7, g4, queen c7, h4, attack here, don't touch anything here, knight e5, e5, and black can play whatever it is, queen c6 or whatever else move. And this attack doesn't have so high potential of fast winning. It's definitely not so easy to attack here. The black position is quite strong, however, of course, is much worse than white. Instead, Salwe played g5, and in this position, Akiba Rubinstein play absolutely the best move. So feel free to pause the video and try to find the move which really make this position much stronger for white. Pause the video while I enjoy my cup of tea. Okay, that was not probably not very difficult. Rubinstein just make a mess, so he played g4, and now black just shouldn't touch anything here. If they touch, it's, you know, it's like porcelain, like very sensitive. Everything is very sensitive here. He could play probably some moves like h6, maybe move the king from the g file, because here he cannot play here because this diagonal is already taken, so it would be dangerous. But h8 maybe probably would be okay. So better to don't touch here anything. Also, if he plays something like f on g4 attacking the knight, white could play like very beautiful f on g5, and after taking that knight, take on h6, and this attack would be just devastating. This is like very strong attack, and black would be in a lot of troubles. Of course, Georg Salwe didn't play that. He probably saw this, so he played g takes on f4. We have queen on f4, bishop g5, knight takes on g5, h take on g5, queen g3, and here is another situation where Salwe could probably save this game, and the correct way, because everybody probably in this situation would play f4, and in this position is unplayable, but it can be played. However, first this knight has to be removed, and once it's removed, f4 can be played. Okay, now it's of course very hard for black, but they have time. At least black have time to consolidate the position, coordinate the pieces, and maybe try to defend. However, Salwe played f4 immediately, and that's actually the losing move. And Rubinstein in this position play queen on h3, attacking. That's a very strong attack, and Salwe tried to play knight on e5, but now it's too late. He should play that move before. Now we have queen h7. King has only one move, and only now the e5 knight can be taken. We have rook on g8, making a space, breathing space for the king, because as you see, that's very crowded and very dangerous here. And there is another. Okay, now I let you to pause the video and find the best attacking move. This is more fun to find this one. The best attacking move for the white. So tell me, how would you attack? How you would attack in this position? What are the weaknesses, and what would be the best move? While I enjoy my cup of tea. Okay, so the winning move in this position, at least the strongest recommended by the engine, is a4, and this is because of this bishop. This bishop is designed here for controlling this diagonal, and that's devastating for black. So of course it's the checkmate is coming, so black has to play something against that. Salwe played b6 as the last hope. We have bishop on a3, we have rook c5 defending that, and white could take now, but it's not really necessary. The plan is much simpler. It's very simple plan. So we have a queen on g6, now king on f8 hiding, and there are a couple of winning continuations, and this move, which was played by Rubinstein, is not even considered by the engine as the strongest, but from human point of view, it's very simple idea. So Rubinstein just play queen on f6, exchanging the queens, and after e captured on f6, look at that. This knight is trapped. That is the simplest idea ever. Okay, so now this square is taken, this square is taken, and also these two squares are taken by white. So it's trapped. So this is why this knight become the obvious thing that why Salwe lost this game, and it should be developed this way, but it wasn't. In this position, Salwe still play bishop on c6, trying to make some counterplay on the longest diagonal, and we have just simplest move, bishop c5. We have b on c5 and f take on g7, and in this position Salwe just resign. Why he resign? Because he is down the rook. Okay, if you calculate, he lost the rook, so it's nothing to play. It's nothing to play at this moment. Yes, he has a couple of strong pawns, and could try to attack with these pawns, but he is serious player, so he just resigned in this position. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Of course, as always, this game I write in the description of the video, that is in the studies on liches, so you can check other ideas of this game, how it's going, what were the possibilities over there. And if you like this video, just click the like button. If you don't like this video, click unlike, of course, and feel free to comment. I read all the comments. I love some ideas you bring, and I love that you encourage me to make another videos. That's why I'm doing my best to improve that channel. So yeah, that's being said, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.